There's a communication gap happening in senior care right now, and almost no one notices it until damage is done. It's not shouting, it's not obvious conflict, it's something quieter. It's unreturned calls, vague answers, assumptions, half explained decisions, different people operating with different information. And over time, that gap creates resentment, burnout, sibling tension, distrust of professionals, and rush decisions that don't age well. Today, we're going to talk about the communication gap that's quietly hurting families and how to close it before it turns into crisis. Hi, I'm Corpus, a senior transition specialist and seniors real estate expert based in the San Francisco Bay Area. I work with families navigating senior living decisions, housing transitions, and care planning, and I work alongside senior care professionals who are doing their best inside a pressured system. And here's what I see over and over again. Most family conflict doesn't start with a bad decision. It starts with incomplete communication. This is another episode of Sandwich Generation Solutions powered by the Simplify Senior Transitions podcast, where we bring clarity to decisions that are too often made under pressure. Let's dive in. Here's the first layer of the communication gap. Professionals think they explain something clearly. Families think they weren't told enough. For example, a community says, "We can meet your mom's needs." The family hears, "She'll be fully supported no matter what." 6 months later, care needs increase. The family hears, "We may not be the right fit anymore." Now they feel blindsided, but the original statement may have been technically accurate. This isn't deception, it's interpretation. The gap lives between expectation and clarification. Another communication gap shows up during hospital discharge. The hospital says they're medically stable. The family hears they're ready to go back home to normal. But medically stable doesn't mean functionally capable. No one clearly explains transfer ability, stair safety, medication management, and fall risk. So the parent goes home, and everyone assumes everyone else understands the plan. That's where the gap widens. Now, let's zoom into families. Here's a pattern I see constantly in Contra Costa, Alameda, Santa Clara, and San Mateo counties. One sibling is local, one is out of state, and one is emotionally overwhelmed. The local sibling thinks, "I'm doing everything." The out-of-state sibling thinks, "I'm not getting the full story." Neither one is fully wrong, but neither one is fully communicating either. Updates are reactive instead of structured. Resentment grows quietly, and the parent feels tension they don't understand. The gap isn't loud. It's cumulative. Money conversations are another silent fracture point. Families assume we'll figure it out. There's enough equity, and we'll cross that bridge later. But no one sits down to align on what care actually costs, what the home is worth, how long funds will realistically last, who is authorized to make financial decisions. So when bills increase or a move becomes urgent, the tension explodes. Not because agreed, because of ambiguity. Ambiguity is gasoline in family systems. There's another layer families don't see. Care managers, real estate agents, attorneys, home care agencies, and senior living communities. They often operate in silos. Each one communicates clearly inside their lane, but the lanes don't always connect. And families are left stitching together fragmented information. When coordination is weak, stress compounds. When coordination is strong, clarity multiplies. So why does this gap hurt more than we realize? Communication gaps don't create immediate explosions. They create slow erosion. Trust erodes, confidence erodes, patience erodes, and once trust is weakened, every small issue feels bigger. The next rate increase feels like betrayal. The next delayed callback feels intentional. The next disagreement feels personal, all because information wasn't aligned early. So how do you close the gap? Here's what works. For families, 1, summarize decisions in writing. 2, clarify next steps before ending meetings. 3, ask, what assumptions might we be making? 4, schedule sibling alignment calls, not just reactive texts. For professionals, 1, over clarify expectations. 2, state limitations directly. 3, confirm understanding. And 4, coordinate across roles earlier. Communication isn't about volume. It's about alignment. Here's the bigger truth. Most senior transitions don't fail because people are bad. They fail because communication is incomplete. And incomplete communication feels like betrayal under stress. If you close the gap early, you reduce sibling conflict, you reduce professional distrust, you reduce rushed housing decisions, you reduce burnout. Clarity stabilizes families. So today we talked about the communication gap between what's said and what's heard, the hospital to home breakdown, sibling alignment issues, financial ambiguity, professional silos, and why closing the gap early prevents preventable conflict. Communication isn't just about talking, it's about shared understanding. This has been another episode of Sandwich Generation Solutions, powered by the Simplify Senior Transitions podcast. If you're a family navigating senior living decisions, downsizing, or trying to figure out the next step for a parent, visit www.simplifyseniortransitions.com/families for guidance and resources designed specifically for you. And if you're a senior care professional who wants more structure, more predictability, and stronger positioning in today's market, visit www.simplifyseniortransitions.com/professionals to learn how we can build that together. You can watch and listen to the Simplify Senior Transitions podcast right here on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And if this episode brought you clarity, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Reviews help more families and professionals find the show before stress turns into crisis. I'm Dale Corpus, and I'll see you on the next episode.